I'm a black, trans man. I am a queer man. So first of all, the reason that all cops are bastards is because the prison industrial complex is in itself problematic. There is no scientific research to support that locking people in cages for prolonged amounts of time away from society, away from their support systems, creating a large gap in their employment history. They come out displaced, no money, no way to adjust to society, no health care, thrown back into the poverty that recreates the system because poverty is criminalized. Poverty is criminalized. Damn, I'm pissed. Honestly, y'all need to stop thanking cops at protests because that is a PR opportunity. You can say anything you want. That man that stood on this stage when I was representing some solidarity with migrant families in that council room, that same police officer who stood up here and was like, yeah, I guess we have some things to work on, was saying that there was nothing to work on and gaslit in the faces of the families who have tolerated this abuse. Gaslit them to their face. It's not about individual people. We need to move on beyond the good, bad binary. All of the white people here are either very dedicated racists. You know, they're open with themselves about it. There's aversive racism, which is racism perpetuated by white people with good intentions. And ooh, when I think of Vermont, I think of that because Vermont has a heritage of eugenics. 1.5 of the population. 1.5. You don't think more black people would have migrated here if it was safe? If we hadn't have been abused in your schools and the jobs and every aspect, there's no equal health care? I grew up in poverty. I grew up DCF knocking on my door. And let me tell you something, I'm sure a lot of you assume that I grew up with a black family. No, I was adopted by a white woman, an aversive racist who for some reason thought that just because she cared a lot, she could teach me how to do my hair. She could help me navigate racism in school. She didn't have the answers. I'll tell you what she told me. She told me not to go out in the sun too long. So when we talk about privilege, we need to acknowledge that there's multiple facets of oppression. No cis black person speaks from my experience. Stop tokenizing us. I am a black queer. I do not speak for every experience here. I am a citizen. I have privilege. I am so fucking grateful. I'm not grateful for anything the cops did. Fuck them. What I'm grateful for is that the complex PTSD that I have is disabling. I have been in the process of trying to get services so that I can survive because I have been brutalized, molested, beaten down. I know the darker sides of people. I get to see them way more often than a lot of you. A lot of the black people who are protected by class is different, I promise. So there needs to be an understanding of intersectionality. But the beautiful thing about that is I'm gonna show up for all my queers, I show up for my black people, I show up for the disabled community, and I will be that bridge, and my back is that bridge, and there are so many people like me that we sit on this grass, and we see people after people going on that stage, and there's nobody that fucking looks like us, or understands where we've been, and that is because this is a place of privilege. If I wanted to come up here last time, but I didn't make it. There was some white African-American lady, the whole last thing was wild. But when you don't lift the most marginalized voices in your community, you're messing up. You're messing up. And also talking about gratitude, to call Vermont good. to call Vermont good, to call our schools good, when they are majority white, is to say that there is nothing that black and brown people have to offer in regards to our experience. We should not be grateful for you letting us speak. You should be grateful because if you stand with us, we're looking for, I'm gonna speak for myself again, look at this. What I want is a society where the vulnerabilities that we have are the things that connect us. I don't want to see any, like, the colorism, the fat shaming, the classism, the same people who will talk about oppression in one bit will like turn and then talk shit about drug dealers. And it's like or people struggling with addiction. All of these are connected, and when you understand the core of oppression and how these structures create themselves, you will build solidarity. If anything, we need good relationships. We need strong relationships. If your racist, like, uncle or parents aren't gonna listen to you, they're not gonna listen to me. So we need to help each other. And if you show up for other people, they show up for you. I was chronically homeless from 15 until this year, actually. And for the first time in my life, I have a core community that I don't feel safe calling the police. When there were situations where I was unsafe, I called my neighbors. They showed up quicker, and they didn't hurt me or anybody. They didn't hurt anybody. Okay? So we need more social workers. We need we gotta stop like waiting for other people to be making decisions for us, because we need collective political autonomy. And that's not going to happen until more marginalized voices are lifted. And if you're having trouble finding marginalized voices, they know you're not safe. There's a reason they aren't coming to you, and you need to work on that. You can't focus on trying to seem a certain way, because anybody can say anything, like that cop pretending that he cared about us, while reinforcing and overseeing that entire system, knowing that prisons, do y'all know about bail? Do y'all know, like, municipalities? Like, how is that? That's, and also y'all need to decolonize. So before I play my music is very vulnerable. It's very, it's connected to my mental illness and my experience of alienation growing up in a society that at times, like, it really seems like you want me to die. And the thing that brings me out of it is people. The same, like, when somebody shines that light on you and you feel accepted and you can create that space for other people, that's where the healing starts. And music is a great way to do that. So that's why I'm gonna play some songs for you. But before I get into that, I want to say politically what I want is every single non-violent black offender in the state of Vermont, I want immediately released. And I want every single violent offender retried by a jury of their peers as defined by the U.S. Constitution. Do not tell me that we've gotten that with less than 1.5 of the population. I want some reparations. It doesn't look like money. It's not a cash bailout. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a process. And you know what else? I want ICE out of here. Pack up your bags and fuck off. For once, I want Vermont to be a sanctuary city. I want people to come here and be like, fuck, like I finally, like, someplace. There is somewhere. And if we can do that in Vermont, then that sets a precedence for the entire world. And honestly, just like so many of my, like, melanin-blessed brothers, sisters, and siblings also. If you are pro-black, you are pro-queer, you are pro-disabled, you are pro-everything, because that's what's in your community. So I want you to know, as a black queer, every time you misgender me, every time you say my brothers and sisters and you don't say sibling, I'm like, okay, I know that person isn't safe. And I'm constantly alienated from different aspects of my own community because of those things. And my passion is for progressive education. And I think the answer to that is education. And before any of you want to call yourselves an activist, you need to learn about intersectionality, and I would also recommend looking into our brothers, sisters, and siblings who have been successful in look at the Pan-African transatlantic slave trade. We've got people in Brazil. We've got a huge, rich history, and there are times when we won and they don't want us to know about that, okay? Just as a side project, I want all of you to look into the Republic of Haiti. Another thing, spiritualism, there's a lot of edgy colonizer atheism. I want you to get rid of that. We can talk about oppression in groups that are spiritual without disrespecting entire communities. I myself practice voodoo, and that has been healing and connecting me to my ancestors and making me feel like I have a home somewhere. All right, so I'm gonna go into the songs. And yeah, all right, you can sit down. Y'all are asleep. You set fire to your room with every single word you wrote. The pictures curl and even on themselves and ride the light like little boats. Wake the dog, he'll do you in. Your old friend doesn't understand. You can will the silence of the beast with the frantic waving of your hands. So walk, so softly. You never learned to make a sound. Careful now, your mother's sleeping and I can't calm her down. Floorboards, they are creaking, they bend and shift under your weight. Soon enough I'll bring the morning, but now you're gonna have to wait. Knotted sheets and lay them out your windowsill. Carefully lowered down, climbed above the roof that keeps you in awe of all that you have found. The trees leaned over you like loving arms. The stars made you feel less alone. The moon covered you in her silver hair and whispered, welcome home. And whispered, welcome home. So walk so softly. You never learned to make a sound. Careful Your mother's sleeping and I can't calm her down. I can't calm her, I can't calm her, I can't calm her down. I can't calm her, I can't calm her, I can't calm her down, 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 down. I can't calm her, I can't calm her, I can't calm her down, 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 down. I can't calm her, I can't calm her, I can't calm her, I can't calm her down. Okay.
You got it, you got it, you got it.
Alright. Alright.
Aww.
It's so cute. Okay. Working with traumatized kids is the only job that makes me happy. I tell them that it's not their fault, like the few that did that for me. At the time, you know, the words meant nothing. After a while, they started to sink in and do something about the way I think, about the way I think. And I grew up not feeling loved. And I grew up, well now I'm very loved. It changes at the end, you'll see.
There you go, you got it.
And I grew up not feeling loved. And I grew up not being enough. I'd steal her tequila, set the bottles side by side. Shot 'em one by one from my porch. My brother's 45. And I say that I'm sad. It's not cute or quirky. Scared that I'm ruined. And I'll never trust anybody. When I bring up my PTSD, it's not deep or interesting. It's that when I was 11, I couldn't wake my mom up cause she was ODing. I'm black and I'm trans. It's really fucked that you think that's kinky. Gonna need it. It's like a divorce. Yeah.
Right there.
Right there. Okay.
I got you.
All right. I'm black and I'm trans. It's really fucked that you think that's kinky.
There you go. That's right.
I'm gonna need a smoke after that line. How about you get the fuck up off me?
There you go. Hell yeah.
And I grew up not feeling lost. And I grew up not being enough. I'd steal her tequila, set the bottles side by side. Shot 'em one by one from my porch. My brother's 45. And every broken lover is the last smoke before I quit. Knowing that one of these days I'm really gonna mean it. To hear them say every reason I was leaving was valid and true. Hurt so fucking bad 'cause I could tell they already knew. The noise and the doubts that taint my vision, they keep me away from the blessings that I'm given. Sorry to everyone I've kept at a distance. I never wanna be a burden, feeds resistance. There's something screaming from the marrow of these bones. Just a scared little boy and I can't do this on my own. Collecting every trace of a happy home I see. And every fucking child is born more than worthy. Showing gratitude to every hand that lifts me. I want you to be proud of me for breathing 'cause I can, and not because you asked me. I want you to be proud of me for breathing 'cause I can, and not because you asked me. I want you to be proud of me. And I grew up, and I grew up, and I grew up, and I grew up. I grew up, I am enough, and I'm alive, and I survived in Jesus Christ. Hear more of my music. I actually, this is my first show in like a year, and yeah, that's cool. My artist name is Giggledom, which is Giggledom. And if you want to see my music, you can look it up on Instagram, and whenever I do play shows again, COVID's over, you can do that. Alrighty, thank you.